room. This is the play that just occurred.
That's like she tries to slide over right there, and Hartley just kind of falls and makes collision with that lower leg. You see her immediately grab it. And she went down hard and was clearly in a lot of pain.
Following a severe knee collision, Sophie Cunningham is taken down by a large number of fans, including her own family. Criticized the officiating right away for not protecting the players. They saw this as merely the most recent development in what seems to be a troubling trend. Caitlin Clark suffered a severe groin injury that kept her out of action. J.C. Sheldon's notorious eye poke. The careless infraction committed by Marina Maberry. Every game against the Sun leaves someone in excruciating anguish. And I'm exploding with frustration. But Indiana resisted rather than giving up. Odyssey Sims trailed Kelsey Mitchell's career-high 38 points. With a career-high 38 points, a clutch 3 from Lexie Hull, and Odyssey Sims replacing him after a hardship agreement, the Fever dominated. To an unexpected comeback victory in overtime, 99-93. However, the question is how this team recovered from a disastrous first half. Let's wish Sophie a quick recovery in the comments section below if you agree with her and the Fever. Come on.
Prove their resiliency.
Fever dub! Bow, bow, bow! Dub in the chat. Yeah. And the win goal!
In Indiana, long before the opening tip, the issue began. In this game, the Fever affected all three of their real point guards. Caitlin Clark's groin injury from mid-July is still keeping her out of commission. Due to an ACL tear, Sydney Carlson was defeated. Additionally, Aari McDonald is recuperating from a foot injury. Coach Stephanie White was forced to reassess her team's offensive strategy since the roster was left without a natural floor general. Indiana had to limit the playbook and depend on simple actions that wouldn't overload players being asked to handle the ball outside of their normal duties, rather than honing sets for the postseason, as most teams do this late in the season.
After Phoenix, it was a quick turnaround to figure out, how we're going to play without, Aari and Sid. And now we got to figure out how we're going to play without Soph. And we've got to figure out, who can play in certain roles. What are our substitution patterns going to be? What kind of wrinkles can we throw out there? It doesn't get easier. And I think we come back and have Minnesota twice, right? So it's really good mentally, physically, and emotionally for us. And then it gives us practice time, which we're going to need.
When the game started, the difficulty just increased. In the middle of the second, Sophie Cunningham struggled beneath the rim and clashed forcefully during the quarter, barely surviving for 10 minutes until she was forced to permanently depart the floor. White's patchwork rotation had relied heavily on her shooting and toughness. And losing her meant that not only were the bodies down, but also the main component of their offense, spacing. Players who weren't ready to play a lot of minutes suddenly had more duties, and White staff had to balance matchups, energy, and basic survival. Rotations appeared dangerously thin by halftime, and the Fever were forced to cover gaps wherever they appeared.
We got Sophie Cunningham writhing around in pain, definitely hurt, and Sophie's one tough cookie. If Sophie's kicking and screaming like this, no Will Farrell. She's in pain. We even have Connecticut Sun players. Look at that. Connecticut Sun players, Connecticut Sun training staff coming up to her as the Fever starts making their way down.
Everything on paper suggested a loss. Rather than disintegrating, the group used the chaos as a springboard to demonstrate their grit. Although it was survival mode, it also made the point that fewer individuals did not equate to less opposition. At that point, no one in the arena understood that the most difficult part of the evening had not yet come. Next followed Cunningham's vicious collision, which not only altered Indiana's lineup, but also rekindled the controversy about the game's officiating. Halfway through the second quarter, Sophie Cunningham was involved in one of the pivotal moments. The season's scariest scenes. Bria Hartley lost her footing when driving to the rim and collided with Cunningham's right knee. The arena was completely stopped by the crash. Cunningham grabbed her knee right away, and she collapsed to the ground while screaming. Trainers had to help her off because she was unable to bear weight on her leg due to the fever, and she later announced that she would have an MRI to assess the extent of the damage. The decision to not call a foul on the play instantly sparked indignation both online and in the arena.
Into Sophie Cunningham's legs. Can somebody please explain that to me? Can somebody please explain those physics? Again, don't want to hear it, because this is a dirty player.
The crowd erupted immediately, with many standing, yelling, and waving at the refs. Cunningham writhed in agony beneath the basket when the pause occurred. She lay on the ground as the game went on, and her teammates and fans alike became enraged at the sight. There was no whistle or indication from the officials, and they had to carry away their starter. Coach Stephanie White acknowledged after the game that her initial reaction when she saw Cunningham in such obvious misery was direct and unvarnished.
Do you have an update on Sophie? Yeah.
Let's do more like MRI.
Yeah, MRI tomorrow.
Just quickly on Sophie. I mean, what's going through your mind when you see her down like that, and you're jogging over there?
I'm like, holy shit. I mean, especially the way that she fell and, how she was holding herself and how much pain she was in. At the time, it's like crap. And then you go down there and you see her and it's like, okay, just want her to calm down and be able to regroup.
For the majority of fans, this was more than just a coincidence. Opposing the Sun, it seemed to be a further development of an unsettling pattern. The memory of earlier crashes loomed large. Caitlin Clark was the target of JCS Sheldon's eye poke in June. The hard bird that flattened Clark was Marina Mabbers. Additionally, Sheldon injured Clark's groin with a knee on July 15th, which has prevented her from playing for more than a month. Numerous spectators and pundits publicly called those plays careless and questioned why harsher sanctions hadn't been applied. In light of this, they did not view Cunningham's collapse as bad luck. It appeared that the league was failing to confront a pattern that left another star exposed.
Oh, and Cunningham is down. My goodness. Should be. Scary moment as we went to commercial. Sophie Cunningham hit the floor hard, and she is being helped off the floor, heading back to the locker room.
If feelings were already elevated, they were much more intense after Cunningham's. Family members' opinions. WNBA, perhaps you should focus less on finding players to comment on your poor officiating and more on hiring officials that can call a consistent game and protect your athletes, her sister Lindsay wrote in a direct post to the WNBA. Horrible. I'm praying for you. It was more than simply an irate spectator. It was a family member who was furious about what she perceived to be a hazardous setting. The mother of Sophie, Paula Cunningham, called Hartley unkind and unruly in a since-deleted post. Those remarks had a significant impact on how the play was interpreted. The comments reinforced the perception among many viewers that players weren't being.
Bria Hartley deserves zero benefit of the doubt. And Sophie Cunningham's family not too happy. I believe this is Mama C. Hartley is a disgruntled player having trouble everywhere she goes. She's playing mean and plays out of control. Looked out of control to me. Maybe you should focus, her sister. Maybe you should focus less on finding players for commenting on your poor officiating and more about hiring officials that are capable to call a consistent game and protect your athletes. Pathetic. Praying for you. The only good thing positive surrounding Sophie Cunningham come out of this game, she looked in good spirits in the locker room.
The issue of accountability was at the center of everything. Reports have mentioned Hartley's previous on-court altercations, and her involvement further heightened the outcry. While some social media users urged the league to intervene and reevaluate officiating standards, whether on purpose or by accident, Others accused her of being careless and demanded a ban. Anger erupted because Cunningham's injury was not accompanied by a whistle. That change was important. It made it clear that neither pity nor a last-minute change in strategy would determine this game. The Fever started to rely on resiliency and emotion. As the final moments approached, all of that energy was directed on a single player whose unexpected takeover would alter not just this game, but...
I'm so proud of you. I'm proud of you too. Proud of you. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that sometimes it sounds like just a word when we talk about being resilient, but it's not, man. It's how we live. Yep. It's how y'all live, and it's a tribute to you. It's a tribute to your connectedness, your togetherness, your toughness, your mindset. Your never give up gritty attitudes. Like, that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And
in response to the turmoil, Kelsey Mitchell scored one of the most spectacular goals. The Fever have never experienced such periods. She had only 4 points and appeared quiet prior to halftime. However, her entire strategy changed after the break. She attacked every game, demanded the ball, and finished the game with 38 points, tying her career high and the league's highest single-game scoring total of the year. The fact that 34 of those points, including 10 in overtime when Indiana most needed them, came after halftime is even more astounding.
An assassin, Kelsey Mitchell, has a new career high. Backdoor Mitchell, bouncing in the paint for two. Kelsey Mitchell, the big is matched up. Mitchell squeezing through for two at the fall. Fouls on the other end. It's Mitchell launching it and connecting.
The volume and efficiency were equal. Mitchell made 11 of 12 shots from the field, 5 of 8 from beyond the arc, and 11 of 22 at 6 assists and the free throw line to prevent the offense from going into isolation. With a very small margin of error, every shot felt heavier than the one before it. One lost journey may have turned the tide back to Connecticut after the team was down 21 earlier. Rather, she had significant moments. Back-to-back threes to close out deficits, step-back jumpers in the fourth, and free throws that guaranteed overtime possessions. It was not careless shooting. Under pressure, it was executed precisely.
Your New England Ford dealers and the Ford Bronco family goat modes, the official SUVs of the Connecticut Sun. Mitchell connects.
Reading the defense. And reckless closeout, so you have to make sure you let the shooter land here. Landing space needs to happen. Looks like Mitchell also clutching her leg here as well.
Regular closeout review. If it is, it's going to be just make one. Okay, because it went in.
After acknowledging that she was unable to speak, Coach Stephanie White insisted. Mitchell had us on her back while making play after play and shot after shot. That was also how it appeared from the sidelines. She locked into a rhythm that even the Suns' defenders, who watched her every move for the majority of the second half, couldn't break. Over time, it became clear whose game it was.